exclusively for object show content, but I believe that these videos are very important. You're gonna hear my input, you're gonna hear his input, and I hope that you learn something about life, because young people are not taught to pursue romantic interests of people who are actually worth the time. It causes heartache, it causes a lot of pain, and I don't think that it's warranted. You gotta open your eyes and be cognizant of your decisions. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna learn a little thing about the world and all its people. So hit that like button and let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, my friends, we've got BERTO, 7 types of guys you should not date. Again, you're gonna hear my input. You're gonna hear his input. You're gonna hear my input. And hopefully we're all gonna walk out of this a little bit more well educated about the fact that all of us should have standards. Anyway, let's do it.
As a man, finding the perfect woman is something instinctively that most men desire, even if it's something we don't like to admit. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, women instinctively desire to be what they think is the perfect man. We all have our flaws and our differences, but those differences is what allow us to be perfect man. The opposite end of that spectrum, women instinctively desire to be what they think is the perfect man.
Now that's... Man, we've only 11 seconds in. That's something that's actually really powerful. That's actually something that's really powerful. Cause think about the successful woman that you know, and then ask them. I guarantee that they have high standards, or they met their lover in high school.
We all have our
spouse
flaws
in
and
high
our
school.
differences, but those differences is what allow us to be compatible with each other. It's just the flow of life. Now, with that being said, even though we all have different personalities, sometimes we allow the worst part of our characteristics to take over. And some of these characteristics make us virtually incompatible with anyone. Last time we spoke about the 7 types of girls that men should avoid. We're going to talk about the 7 types of guys they should avoid.
I did that last video on a stream. I don't remember which one. I hope somebody can find it for me.
Because even though I'm a man myself, I do recognize that some of you guys are completely uncompatible. And that's just if we're being honest. But hopefully after this video, we can all do some self-reflecting so we can continue to try to be the best versions of ourselves. Let's get it. First on this list, Mr. Too Emotional. So here's the thing with this guy. I think everybody could agree that there's nothing wrong with a man that has emotions. I'd even go as far to say that women love a man that can express themselves emotionally. But where the boat gets like...
most women love a man that can express themselves emotionally. And that, man, he should have... I don't know if he did, but he should have added that, the exception to that, to the 7 types of women that you should never date. Because I know a few examples of men whose partner lost interest in them after they actually expressed their emotions. Now, that is something that you need to learn immediately. Because the moment that you are shamed for showing vulnerability is the moment that you know that your partner is apathetic and you should immediately cut contact with them, because that's a character flaw that's very hard to fix. It's something that a lot of people aren't even aware of. And it's very harmful to be around, especially when you're already vulnerable. Because that's supposed to be somebody you can count on, not somebody who's going to make you feel even worse for feeling like a human actually is supposed to. Anyway.
A little shaky is when the nigga is too emotional. Listen. My beautiful ladies, you might want to try and avoid this nigga. Because as a man, being too emotional can lead to a lot of problems. Most of these problems stemming from insecurity. You guys are going to see that's going to be a common theme on this list. The overly emotional guy tends to not be able to get a grip on the problems that are recurring through his relationship. Listen, y'all, girls don't want a man who's crying on their shoulder more than she can cry on his. Call it what you want, but I think I speak for most women. They want a man that can solve problems, and if at the very least he doesn't.
And that's a whole nother thing. Like, a lot of girls, a lot of women that I that I actually associate with, am friends with, am close friends with, I have heard this more times than I can even recall at this point. Okay, I just want you to listen. Do not try and solve the problem for me, because that's just my way of thinking. That's a lot of people's way of thinking, I believe. They, as soon as they hear somebody has a problem, it's like, okay, this is what you should do. Let's go fix it. And then they're like, no, I don't want to I don't want to focus on fixing it right now. I'm sad, and I just want somebody to vent to. It's like, oh, okay. The fact that I've been told that multiple times might mean that I myself am not taking it in, but sometimes I just ask, is this a venting moment, or is this a you want assistance or advice moment? And that I just yeah, that's probably the best answer. Just ask.
Have the answer to those problems, he's doing everything he can to go and find these solutions. They're definitely picking that over the guy that continues to bitch about everything. Life's so hard, I don't know how to fix it. Let me just give you a fair example. Let's just say you, the man of the house, just lost your job, and now you're in a really tight spot because you're the breadwinner for you and your girl. You're not really sure what your next move is about to be.
But you're not
your
trying to
girl's
fix it.
probably going to be very understanding, and she's
sad.
going to know that you're going through a rough time right now. So emotionally, you're probably going to be moody over the next couple of weeks because you got some things to figure out. You're stressed out. I think that's a fair emotion to be feeling in the situation.
Very much.
If months go by and all you're doing is bitching and complaining and crying about how you miss your old job and you wish you didn't get fired, life just sucks and you just have this why me attitude. And most importantly, you're not really looking forward and getting out of your own head. This is not the type of man a woman is going to want to rely on to be the head of their family.
Exactly. Before he starts, that's exactly the reason. There are, I'd say, 4 emotions that completely throw off any sense of logic that you have in your head. Those are rage, arousal, fear, and hopelessness. If you feel that your situation is hopeless, if you allow yourself to sink down into that point, then not only are you going to feel like there's no point in going on, but unless you're actively working towards it, in spite of that feeling, that's called survival mode, then you're going to be stuck in a deep depression that's going to hinder you to the point where you are just a liability. Nobody wants to be with a liability. That's why you have to keep working to solve that problem, even when you're in emotional distress. That's how people are supposed to live. They need to make progress to survive. Keep growing, keep developing. So that's what he means by too emotional.
For too long, she's gonna go ahead and leave your
too hopeless.
Everybody's different, and this might not be your girl's immediate response. And if it is, then honestly, she wasn't really good for you anyway.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying it's bad for men to be emotional. I'm just saying being too emotional, it's not really the vibe.
You have to
Next
fix it.
on the list, we have number 2. I think it's fair to say that number 2 is slightly on the more opinionated side. But generally speaking, I do think women should avoid a man that's too clingy.
Ah,
Now,
that's
I already
me.
know some of my ladies in the comment section like, nah,
That's
Berto,
me.
I like my man clingy. I need a nigga who's all over me and obsessed with me all the time.
That's
what
me.
y'all
I'm
say,
guilty.
but my answer to that is stop the cap.
I'm guilty. I'm sorry, but that one is actually me. My female friends also have to deal with that. I'm a hugger. I'm a theater kid. Like literally in my old high school choir class, we would have we would have sessions where the entire class is in a giant group hug, and I adopted that because I like affection. I'm a very affectionate person. That's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I definitely think that some girls like their men clingier than others, but women want their space too, just like men do. The guy that can't go 10 minutes without talking to his girl.
Oh, okay. In that case, no. That's the thing about me. I'm kind of weird in that I'm very physically affectionate, but I'm not talkative. I don't do FaceTime, and I will absolutely block somebody who tries to FaceTime me after 10 p.m. Like, it's one thing if we do it once every month or so, but nah, I don't like long text conversations. If I'm texting people, it's usually to ask when are we meeting next because I want to see them. I don't do any of that other stuff. And that's just, and I know that's weird. I acknowledge that it's weird, and I completely understand if people don't really like that aspect of me. I'm just not much of a constant communication person. But I am very affectionate.
Guy that's making out with his girl in the middle of the gym. The guy
Ugh.
that literally needs to be breathing the same air as his girl at every waking moment. In my experience, that's never
I
been
want to
something
wear
that
your
ended
skin.
well in a relationship. Because on some real shit, women are experts at feeling vibes and emotion, bro. And when a nigga's too clingy, it tends to be stemmed out of insecurity. A lot of times the guy in this position probably feels like, this is the best girl I've ever had.
Aww.
Oh my God, she's so perfect. I don't want to lose her. He's scared to lose her, so he needs to be by her side every second of the day. And I've even seen situations where the super clingy guy starts to turn into the super controlling one.
Oof.
Listen, I know that girls want a man that can show them affection. If anything, that's very important. But I also think women want a man that can also trust her enough to go and do her own thing sometimes.
Yeah, the controlling thing, no, I'm also not controlling. I'm actually very lenient when it comes to most things. Some might call that naivety, but nah, I'm just not the type of guy who control. And I like my alone time. I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't go out with people too often because I enjoy being alone, genuinely. I would never want to always be around somebody. In fact, if I'm around somebody for more than 8 hours, I actively get irritated. That's when I start verbally telling people, you need to go home right now. I'm not very shy about that. I'll be very blunt with people, and anybody that I'm close to knows that. I will tell you, you need to go home. I don't want you here. And if they keep going on, yeah, you need to get back where you came from.
Because if she wants to go do some shit, if she feels like it, there should be nothing wrong with that.
It depends on the person.
That dolo. Depending on what it is, of course. But what I'm trying to say is balance. It's important, man. So regardless of what that girl says of wanting a clingy nigga, in my opinion, she's probably gonna dump your ass in the end.
Dang.
Now, number 3, interestingly enough, is something that I, as a man, struggle with. This personally has ultimately been the demise of a lot of my relationships over the years.
So I'm 2. So you're 3.
That is the guy that is too selfish.
Oh.
Now, this one could look a lot different depending on who you ask.
That might also be me.
Being too selfish looks like to me, or at least what I've continuously been told, is the guy that puts his own priorities consistently over hers and the relationships. Now, speaking from personal experience, I've always fell victim to this because I'm a big dreamer, bro. And not only am I a dreamer, I'm an action taker. I am literally obsessed with what I deem being successful. And even though you might be thinking, whoa, that's really great for you, Berto, I'd agree, but it always hasn't been that great for my relationships. Let me give you some examples. My girl wants to go on a cute date time to time, but 9 out of 10 times I tell her no, because I just want to stay home and work on my videos.
Okay, that one's not me. That one is not me. So, well, I already figured out which one I am. I'm number 2. I'm number 2, no doubt. But I'm only half of number 2. Physical, like out when I'm with somebody. I like spending quality time with people, not too much, not to the point where it's like really late and it's cutting into my actual personal time. I'll be selfish in that if you're cutting into my personal time and my priorities, then I have to do it. But I do make time for people that I care about, and I'm glad that I do. I just don't do the talking thing too much, because unless it's like somebody important, a boss, somebody that I should do it with, talk to. Not, but this one, no, not really as much as me. Although I guess I do take most of my time to myself. I'm not overly. I'm overly ambitious, no doubt, but not to the point where it impedes my relationships. What impedes my relationships is my awkwardness, all the time. Every time.
Just wants me to come in bed, watch a movie with her every once in a while.
Why is your girlfriend in bed with you?
Just spend some time together.
I'm kidding.
But I'd rather stay up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every single night and finish my work.
Jesus.
So yeah, I'm chasing my dreams. I'm locked in. I'm doing what I need to do. But now my girl's sleeping alone every night. Going through this over
Every
and
night.
over and over
Your girl
again
lives
can
with you?
ultimately leave the woman feeling like she's in a relationship by herself. In the beginning, the girl's usually very positive and understanding of the situation.
Then
You
they get
chasing
tired
your
of it.
dreams, you chasing your bag. Go ahead, baby, do your thing. But after a while, bro, just imagine living in this lifestyle. She's supposed to be your lover. How much of this shit can she really take? Before you know it, she starts having these questions to herself in her head. Is this relationship even worth it? I'm in this shit by myself anyway. I didn't always realize this when I was going through the situation, but now I'm at a place in my life where I'm self-aware enough to understand I just might not be ready for a relationship because I'm 100% focused on me. I'm selfish. Yep. I only got time for doing what I think I need to do to accomplish my goals. So yeah, that's great for me, but I'm just not willing to make the sacrifices that need to be made to be in a relationship. At least not right now. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. But at the same time, some girls, I dare say most girls, can't handle being in a relationship with that type of guy. So if I had any advice for my ladies, just try to get a good gauge on what your nigga's mindset is at the time. How open is he to a true committed relationship and the sacrifices that it's gonna take to make things work? What do you as a woman need out of your man to make this shit work? And to my brothers, just be transparent about where you are in your headspace. Because if you on your grind and you know you're not gonna really have time for her like that, let her know up front. So, you know, when shit goes down, it ain't no surprise. Because what you definitely don't want from either sides of the party is y'all don't want to waste your time. Number 4 on this.
Hold on, before he moves on, I'm going to keep going. Because the thing about me, the way that I envision my ideal relationship is with another professional. I do spend a lot of time going out in the community, trying to make a positive impact, connecting with different people in different places. I actually just quit a sales job because it was taking way too much of my time. I don't hold 40-hour work weeks because more often than not, if I'm out doing something, it's either me taking personal time or me handling business. Something that I think that I can actually leave a positive and lasting effect in my community with, like in my own events, like a fundraiser, volunteering, anything like that. So I want another professional, somebody who goes to networking events, somebody who can rep their set, somebody who also has their own life. And I want us to just be committed, because it's not hard for me to be loyal. I've got good self-control, so I've been abstinent for so long. But I don't want anybody who wants to try and take up that time completely. Sometimes I want somebody to ride in the car with me when I'm going to this next event or traveling from this city to this city. But other times, I just want to be locked in with somebody who also has big dreams. That's why I actually do have pretty high standards for my partners. It's why I'm still single. I might not be ready for a relationship too, and I acknowledge that, but, doesn't mean I can't think about it.
List is a semi-repeat from the last list, but the reality is it goes both ways because you don't want to date a guy that's too damn horny.
Oh,
I
yes.
think this goes without saying,
God.
But a man that can't keep his cucumber in his pants is a recipe for disaster.
That's just no.
Look, bro, we live in a society
biased,
that
but
has
still.
double standards. We get praised for fucking hoes, and girls get torn down for being thoughts.
True.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince y'all on why we shouldn't have double standards.
Not gonna lie.
They're gonna
that
be
is
there
true.
no matter what with different situations.
Also true.
Just suck it up. It is what it is.
That is also super true. I'm not gonna try and act like these societal double standards are justifiable, because people with those mindsets of generalization are idiotic. But I'm also not going to pretend that there's something that we can just brush under the rug, because all in all, you just have to be comfortable with yourself enough to knock those negative perceptions out. Like, if you're really focused on them, then yeah, you're gonna be sad. But if you're not, if you're working on your mind, on your own self, your being, mind, body, soul, it's not gonna bother you, bruh. Let me stop.
You're gonna have to live with some level of double standards. It's just the reality of life. Yeah. But brothers, there are real consequences in sticking your eggplant in every single hole that presents itself to you.
Plus, that's also just dirty. I don't know why you do not want to be with somebody who's dirty. With somebody... That sounds so bad. Especially coming from me, somebody who is who I have ways of engaging intimately without hands. That's all I'm gonna say. But it sounds bad coming from me because of my position, but no. Promiscuity in general just comes with way too many risks, and I'm not a guy who thinks that he wants to deal with those risks anytime soon. So I'm gonna stay abstinent for the rest of my life. The first person I sleep with will ideally be my last. That's how I maintain my self-control, my self-respect, semblance of self. It's not because I have respect for others, it's because I have respect for me.
Some of those consequences are deadly. So if that doesn't scare you enough, hey, live your life, king. But regardless, you clearly have to be able to acknowledge how this can affect your relationship with your woman. Now, the reality is you can be a real horny nigga and only want to have, intercourse
Coitus
with your woman, and that's a fact. But, that probably has its own can of worms. I feel like if you lack your discipline when it comes to like sex, you just probably lack discipline in
general.
A lot of other areas in life.
Yes.
There's more to life than that nut, bro. And if you are the type of guy that has to have multiple women, I mean, been there, done that, bro. I understand where you're coming from, but that shit not even really cool for real, because
at all.
The drama that comes with juggling a bunch of women, it's just not even worth it. And then that doesn't even count pissing off your main girl when you get caught.
Right.
Like, look, man, I've had my whole phase. I feel like a lot of people
He's
have had their
his
whole phase.
phase.
It's part of life. It's part of growing up. I'm not saying you need to have a whole phase to grow up, but if it happens, it happens type shit.
I guess you can say that I had my little phase, but that was also where I learned that I wanted to keep being abstinent, because I was put in so many situations where I almost lost it. That's why I wanted to keep it, because I've already had it for this long. But dang, what was I gonna say? Yeah, obviously there are exceptions. A lot of people use weed to increase their productivity. A lot of people are very productive, very successful, who have a million children just going out there, but in general, it's a hindrance. Substances and sex are basically the same thing. The more you have them, the more you're going to be dependent on them. And if you don't have some kind of discipline, then then regardless of whether or not it's something that really negatively affects your life, it's still going to be a problem. And I don't like to deal with excessive stress. So
I've made my mistakes. I've learned from them mistakes, and because of those mistakes, I'm a better man today. But at this point, I'd rather just spend my time with someone who actually gives a fuck about me, and I'm willing to grow with that person.
Yes.
Build a real relationship. Because juggling women is a job, bro. That shit is a full-time job.
Like all that.
Women have needs, emotionally,
that's not the only
financially. Thing. I don't know about you, but doing all that for multiple women, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. So take my advice, sit your ass down, and just try to figure it out with one girl at a time. But ladies, let's keep it a stack. Some of y'all be seeing the signs, bro, and that be a lot of y'all problem. If you clearly see the signs that this guy got his egg in more than one basket, you gotta read them and leave them. Save yourself the trouble and don't be an idiot.
Bruh, I freaking hate that so much. There are real smart, passionate, ambitious women out here who get played, who get cheated on by literal bums because for some godforsaken reason, nobody gave them guidance as a child or a teenager as to what they should actually look for in a partner. Look for somebody who actually wants to be somewhere in life. It's not that hard. If they're freaking 21 and have no car, no job, and have a freaking baby mama, that should be enough. That should be enough to disqualify them. Okay, let me stop. That should be more than enough to disqualify from.
You're probably going to want to stay away from the man that's too boastful. His ego is out of this world.
That's also me.
I will admit, I do think men should have very strong confidence. That's really important. I believe that most women want to align themselves with men that have their shit together, have confidence, and at least believe in themselves. Someone with some skills and the accolades to back it up. Who wouldn't want to be with a nigga that don't got his shit together? Like, let's be for real. But there's a difference between being very confident and just being a show-off asshole. Because in actuality, you start to realize eventually the more confident you become, the less you even need to talk about it and show off what you do or what you've done. You're capable of doing it, so you just do it. And you let the success speak for itself. And a lot of times the guy that's always screaming he's the best and nobody can get in his way
peaked in high school. He's gonna say he peaked in high school. That's what happens when you're too boastful. You gotta be humble, or else people are gonna think that you're lying and that you're just insecure, which you have to be if you really want to say that much. I've got insecurities too, so I can be a little bit braggadocious, but only at a few occasions. I'm much better. I guess I didn't really have that problem when I was younger. At least I'm aware of it.
And a lot of times the guy that's always screaming he's the best and nobody can get in his way, there's a level of insecurity there. It's almost like he's trying to convince
himself
you he's the best. He's trying to convince you that he does this shit for real.
He's trying to convince
versus
himself.
The guy that just does this shit for real, he's doing it and not talking about it. The boastful guy wants you to believe in him so bad because the reality is he doesn't believe in himself. I would advise my ladies to stay away from this type of guy because a man that is truly confident, he likes to build his woman up. He wants her to achieve her goals too. He's going to want to show her things that she may not have known before. And if not that, he's going to at least try to show her a different approach to something that she might know, but give her a different perspective. Versus the cocky and boastful nigga, well, they're probably not going to be as invested in making their partner better because shit, deep down, he's not even so sure about his ability in the first place. I think it's easy enough to tell that over time, yeah, the relationship's probably going to end in tragedy, leaving the woman feeling very isolated. Next, we got number 6. Mr. Too Insecure, the weak-minded man.
Oh, God. Ugh. Yuck. I'm sorry. I'm being so mean today. I've got to be more tactful. Please, excuse my rudeness. It's just because the concept of being with somebody who's weak-minded is one that is very, very distressing to me. Because as I said before, I want somebody that I can be professional with, that I can be an example with, that I can grow with, exceed all expectations. Somebody who's weak-minded will let their insecurities drag them down. They're like the hopeless guy, number 1. They will not rise to those standards. They'll never meet those standards. So I cannot be with somebody who's weak-minded. Somebody who started out as weak-minded and then grew into a strong mind, that's reasonable. But as a weak-minded people, no, I cannot do it. Never. Personally.
Let's keep it a stack, bro. I don't want to sound too harsh,
I got big goals, and
nobody
I cannot let
likes
somebody
the guy
drag
that
me
is
down.
too insecure.
That's
Look,
horrible.
I get it. I know people deal with things. I know what it feels like to feel sad. I know what it feels like to be depressed. You're hopeless. You feel lost. The feeling of not feeling secure about any move you make because everything just feels so uncertain. Am I making the right move right now? Is this gonna pan out how I want it to pan out?
Probably not.
Should I even take a risk?
I
know what the shit feels like. And I'm also not ignorant enough to say that there's probably people out there that have felt it way worse and way deeper than I ever have.
Very much.
But I just truly and deeply believe that in every situation, there's some way that you can make your way out of it. And obviously I'm talking about people that aren't dealing with a medical issue, a scientific medical issue. Now that's
even then, if I am put in a position where I am completely vulnerable, like the homeless people that I work with at St. Vincent or the people that I see at the Salvation Army, a lot of them are struggling, and I have major respect for them. I've been through some pretty bad phases in my life. Been in what felt like a prison for months. I've contemplated some very dark things. I've lost way too many people that were my age or even younger. But those people are left in those vulnerable states for long periods of time. And the only thing they can try and do is claw themselves back up. Knowing how it feels to be in such a vulnerable state where you don't feel like you can come back or that you have to escape or else you will not want to live anymore. That's tough. And they have to live with that for way longer than what I did. That's just one example. That's not even considering people who've been in major tragedies, who have these major depressive disorders or who do live with medical problems. But these people are way tougher than me because they're forced to live in tougher situations for long periods of time that I could probably not handle. As much as I believe in myself, I don't think that I can handle it. So, it is what it is. I have so much respect for these people.
But the point is, there are things you can do to be more confident. Whether it's going to the gym, reading a book, changing your friend group, changing your environment. Very literally, change the way you think. You can build the confidence you need to accomplish
die trying.
This might seem like a real stupid analogy, but your brain is so powerful, bruh. The same way you were like back in elementary school and you didn't like the way that you giggled, so you saw somebody else's laugh and you're like, ooh,
let me get that.
I like their laugh.
Let me get that.
And then all of a sudden you kind of see yourself laughing like that person. And you're doing it consciously, but you keep doing it consciously. Before you know it, that's your like regular go-to laugh. Some people might be able to relate to this, but follow me for a second. You made a conscious decision to make a change in yourself, and it's almost like faking it till you make it.
Exactly.
You faked the laugh, and now you're confidently, effortlessly laughing like that.
You fake being successful, and you become successful. That's the kind of mindset that I carry with me because I want to be an example. I'm either going to be majorly successful, exceed all expectations, be overwhelmingly positive of an example to a multitude of people around the world, or I'm going to die. But I'm going to die with no freaking regrets. Dang it, I messed up the quote.
Are you following me?
I mean, it was
you
my own
can
quote
do that with your confidence, bruh. You really can. Like, you can train your mind to be more confident. You just gotta make these decisions to make those changes within yourself. Because at the end of the day, a good woman is not gonna want to be with an insecure man. As I've said before, there's a lot of things that women look to us men to provide for them. And if you're an insecure ass nigga,
incel,
what is she gonna get out of that? How are you gonna give somebody clarity for this relationship when you can't even get clarity for yourself?
That's what
this whole topic could be its own video, honestly, and if that's something y'all want, we could talk about it. Whatever that looks like for you. Because not only is that gonna help you in your relationships, it's gonna help you in life. Ladies, y'all deserve to be with a confident nigga. A man that knows what the fuck he wants out of life. So, take my advice. Avoid this guy. Go find yourself somebody that's gonna take the life bull by the horn and conquer that shit. And last but not least...
Oh, hold on. This is why, for anybody who ever wonders, if you guys do wonder, you probably need to go ahead and take some notes. This is why people hate incels. It's why there's so many subreddits on r/niceguys, r/nicegirls. Because, yes, there's a phase that you go through, that a lot of people go through. Not all people, but a lot of people go through. When you're young, when you're like an early teenager, it's like, nobody wants to date me. Nobody wants to love me. I'm so sad. But it goes away when you turn like 14. If you're still in that state when you're an adult, that means there's something wrong. And that's the reason why people don't like you. But you guys probably wouldn't know anything about that because anybody watching this video is probably younger than I am. But just don't be like that.
The last one. Ladies,
if
you're
gonna
want to
made it to this
avoid
point,
the guy
you're
that is lazy and has no goals.
Yep.
I think this goes without saying,
1,
but
6, and 7.
nobody wants to be with somebody who's honestly just dead weight. Listen, I don't think everybody needs to be a millionaire. I don't think everybody wants to live a super flashy lifestyle.
Right.
I want those things, but if in general you don't have any goals for yourself, you're just sitting down 24/7 playing video games.
No, not 24/7 playing video games. If you want to stay where you're at, then that's the problem. Because I want somebody who's always trying to go up. Even if they fail, they just want to keep going. Just want to keep pushing. See, and then there are the exceptions to that rule. Because there are people in society who stay in their same position forever, but they know that they're making an impact. And we're not talking about career politicians because they need to be changed as often as diapers. If you've been a politician for more than 20 years and you have not changed position, even if you've not gone up, that means that you've already failed. Anyway, but a teacher who's stayed in that position for 20 years is inherently more respectable. because they're actively enriching. They're teaching the new generation of students. They've committed to their job, one that's very hard, that doesn't come with as many benefits as it should. That is the kind of exception I'm looking for, like a social worker, something like that. Like a lot of them still pursue promotions. They still pursue raises, higher paying positions, but that's one of the few exceptions that I could definitely stand. Being with a teacher, I would already be with somebody who I know is putting into society what I want to put in society, and that's very respectable. So that's my exception.
Eating chips, you don't care about how you look. You probably smell bad. You walk outside the house looking all types of crazy, and you just don't even care. Just don't care about anything. Why should a beautiful woman of any caliber give you that gushy, brother?
What the?
It doesn't make sense.
Why
Just
would you?
ask yourself that question.
Why?
If you were her, the
Why would
baddest
you
bitch in the room, the one that you want, if you were her, would you date yourself?
Exactly. That's the question
Ask
you need to
yourself
ask.
that question. And if the answer is no,
Everybody.
that's on you, brother. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
Although some people who are lazy would also want a lazy person. They can just be lazy together. They can just work a very simple little stay-at-home job where they can just sit on the office for 8 hours a day and then play video games and eat chips and and never leave the house. Just being lazy with you, being lonely with you, you know. I mean, that wouldn't be so bad of a life for somebody who enjoys that. If anything, that would be paradise. But like he said, if the answer is no, then it's a problem. If the answer is yes, then go find yourself. Like that.
This is you right
perfect.
now. I'm not trying to crucify you because the reality is maybe you're just not ready yet. But understand this, man. This life shit is not forever. You're not gonna be young forever. You're not gonna be healthy forever. I mean, shit, I hope you are.
Right.
But the reality is, we don't know. I lost my dad at 60 to cancer, bro. And the shit that's like crazy, it blows my mind every time I think about it, is before he knew he had cancer, he's walking around every day. He's in good shape. He's talkative. He's doing his thing. He's living his life. You would have never known or thought there was anything wrong internally with this guy health-wise. This man was literally living his best life every day, no matter what he was going through. So yeah, he was 60. Everything's great. And then boom.
Dead.
He got cancer. And he's fucking gone in a matter of a couple months, bro. A couple fucking months, bro. This life shit ain't forever. Get a fucking grip. Be the best version of yourself, man. Do the things you want to do. Get up and try shit. I know I sound like a broken record. I feel like I've said something similar to that
Pish posh.
all the time. But you
Pish
don't
posh.
know when your time is coming. Why are you just gonna waste it? You
Be a
might
broken
as
record.
well make the best out of yourself every day. And I guarantee you, bro, no matter where you are in life, whether you don't have shit to your name, you're broke as fuck, no drip, whatever it is, if you're waking up every single day
No drip.
trying to get better,
I'm sorry.
and you're protruding that to the world, you carry yourself like you give a fuck. You might not have it all figured out, but when you walk around, you're like, yo, I care about me, and I'm trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? You don't look crusty and musty all the time because you care. You care about, not because you care about what other people think about you, but because you care about what you think about yourself. There's a difference, bro.
That's what I said. That is what I said. I do not do anything that I do concerning boundaries, concerning relationships, all of the positive things that I do. I do things not for anybody else. Unless it's helping people, but because that's what I want to do. Because I have self-respect, because I have values, because I have goals, because I have dreams, and I don't want anything that would be a hindrance, an obstacle at all.
About what other people think about you, but because you care about what you think about yourself,
it's all
there's
you.
a difference, bro. If you do those type of things
people,
every single day, I guarantee you, women are gonna start looking at you different.
It's
They're
natural.
gonna start gravitating towards you because this is a nigga that cares. This is a man that's either made it in life or wants to make it in life. He wants more for himself. Bro, confidence be glowing, bro. I promise you. I know some girls ain't shit. I know some girls are only material.
Right.
It is
But
what it is,
it is
though.
what it
Like
is.
I said, this life ain't all roses and daisies. There's gonna be some good and there's gonna be some bad. But there are good women out here, bro. And there's good women out here that's gonna want to stick with you while you're on your grind.
Hey, you don't need to remind me of that. I know plenty of wonderful women friends. Well, wonderful women in general. But they're wonderful people, okay? Wait, I thought this was the guy. Wait, I thought you were talking to the women. Did he anticipate there would be guys watching this? Because he said there are good women out here. But if the person who watching the video is a woman who's looking for a guy and who needs some information, they're not going to be wanting to know about the. Okay. He knew that some guys would be watching this, trying to steal his pointers, trying to take notes. You're a perceptive man, Berto.
Whatever destination you're trying to make it to, create goals for yourself, man. Even if they small goals and you hitting them one at a time. I'm trying to take this YouTube shit over. I already told y'all. I'm gonna very proudly live this life. But your end goal might look a lot different, and that's okay, man. I'm just saying, go for it. If you want to be the best fucking pizza man at Papa John's, the employee of the month, go do it. If that's your destiny and you truly believe that in your heart, go be the employee.
Be the dang owner.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Go be the owner.
Show the fuck up. Because women like niggas that show up. Women want to be with men that want more for themselves. Because at the end of the day, just break it down in simple terms, bruh. If you want more for yourself and I want to be with you,
then I want more for me.
That's a big fucking benefit for me.
Yeah.
I want to play for the winning team.
Exactly.
I don't want to be on the team where the team captain's on some, I don't really care about winning, guys. I'm just here for the ride. At the end of the day, this shit's all opinionated, but I'm gonna go ahead on the record and say I think my opinion's a really goddamn good one.
I think that your opinions are good too. I think that opinions are nice. It's nice to share opinions. It's nice to be vocal, unless the opinions are terrible. And if you don't know they're terrible, then when somebody tells you that, if you don't know if your opinion's terrible or not, that's what AITA is for on Reddit. Just go ahead and ask people, and if they tell you your opinion's terrible, then just accept it. Don't try to defend it. If it's degrading, if it's derogatory to other people, then don't defend it. Just learn. Just learn. For the love of God, just learn. Anyway.
I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed. And I really hope by the time I'm posting this video, we hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much, man. Like, I really appreciate y'all. It means the world to me. And in celebration of 100,000 subscribers, if you guys want to do one thing right now, it only costs you 5 seconds, and I'd really appreciate it.
Hit the like button.
Go subscribe to my second channel, BERTO Plus. I'm going to leave the link right here in my description and also on the screen somewhere. Pretty much this is where I'm going to be uploading more consistently, because as some of you know, animation, it takes a long time. So no matter what, I can't upload as quickly as I'd like to, because especially because I'm a quality over quantity type of creator. So whether I like it or not, I'm at the mercy of my own workflow. As we continue to grow, I'll do my best to keep getting better at that, but just know I'm in this hole working every day to make great videos for you guys on this channel. So over on my second channel, it's gonna be more reactionary style content, gaming content, just content where I get to kind of sit back, chill, and have fun. Again,
literally what I do. Hi, I'm the guy in the corner.
Where I get to kind of sit back, chill, and have fun. Again, 100,000. Thank y'all, man. I know I got like 4 30 times, but
I'm 1/25 of the way there.
We work. Like, this is one of the biggest achievements you can achieve as a YouTuber. You get the 100,000 plaque,
then the
million.
And
the next one's a million. Like, that's only a testament of how hard this shit is, and y'all allowed this to be possible for me. So I gotta say thank you 100 times, 1,000,000 times. I'm gonna keep saying it. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Go show some love to my second channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Where you at, Berto?
Bruh, I guarantee that 14-minute video right there, when I reacted to it, I guarantee I took like 17 years to finish it. It was at least like 30 minutes. Like, this video was 22 minutes, and oh my god, I've been here for 40 minutes. Guys, I've been here for 44 minutes. on a 22-minute video. Half the time of the video is just me talking. Oh my god. And the other half is the actual video. You know what? You're loved, you're appreciated, you're gonna do amazing things. I don't think I need to say anything else. I don't need to say, it's 45-minute video, oh my god. You just have goals, love yourself, and then the rest will fall into place. Keep moving forward, you're gonna be the greatest, whatever you wanna be, and as long as you believe in yourself that you can make this happen, keep moving towards it. Even if you crawl, even if you're moving slowly, even if you have to take a break and get back into it, then do that. Because you got this. It's either we succeed, we do our thing, or we die trying. That's the best. That's exactly the life, that's exactly the motto you want to live. At least in my opinion.